Hello, everybody. I know we have about 1 more minute, and so people are going to be jumping on. I just want to let everyone know that this will be recorded, or it's being recorded. So we will share it on YouTube. So if you do not want to be on video, you can just hit the stop video, and all we'll see is just a name. So if you do not want to be put on the replay in that way, you can always turn off your video. By just clicking on the stop video. You'll still see us, we just won't see you, that's all. So let's see, for all of our light workers that are on, I'm gonna make all of you co-hosts. So that way you have the ability to share your screen if you need to. So let's see, I've got Hahja, Cherie, Tina. I've made all of you co-hosts. That way you will have a speaker view when we begin the call. So I think I got everybody here. Let's see here. If I'm missing someone, let me know. Thank you all for joining. I know there'll be a lot of people jumping on at whatever time they can jump on, so great. All right, it's already 2:01, so why don't we just get started? I just want to give everybody a brief Zoom 101 lesson real quick before we actually begin the whole process. For some of you, this may be the first time you've ever been on Zoom. So you will see at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little chat bubble with 3 little dots in it. So if you have questions or a comment that you need to make to us or to the group or even to someone privately, if you click on that chat button, it opens up a little white box on the right, and you can type in there, share your questions, etc. The other thing that I ask is that you keep your microphone muted so that only the person speaking will be the person with the mic on. That way we won't have a lot of background noise on the recording. So I just ask that everybody do that. Let's see here, anything else? Shirley, I saw you just joined. I'm also making you a co-host. There we go, great. So we're gonna have our different practitioners introducing themselves so you know who all is here. And then we're each gonna share some of our tools and gifts with you and any divine messages that we have been receiving about this time to help you and to support you and to ground you in, and anything else that might come up. So we just ask that if you do have questions, just type them into the chat so that we can read those and then answer them. Okay, so my name is Linda Galvan. So for some of you who have never met me before, I am a spiritual intuitive soul guide here in Kyle, Texas, south of Austin. And I have been doing this work for over 10 years and helping people realign to their truth, helping to transform you from a place of stuck to a place of really living your purpose and awakening your gifts. And I was guided along with Gwendolyn Terra, who you will meet in a minute, to bring together a group of light workers so that we can all share the messages we've been given, to give you some guidance from spirit, and to share some tools with you that will help you during this time. So just know that your presence on this call alone will bring powerful healing light to you. So just know that your choice to be here also assists in the greater collective healing. So much love and light. Okay, I'm reading the comments at the same time that I'm trying to do this, so be patient with me. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have each of, well, actually, Gwendolyn, do you think we should do a grounding first and then have the different light workers introduce themselves?
Yeah, I think it's good. We'll do a deeper groundings and practices today. And I feel like it's nice for us all to take that moment to tune in together to really arrive. And this is an important practice for these times, right? When there's a lot of energy, to actually take a minute or two to really drop into our bodies and breathe and feel ourselves and each other arrive in the space. So yeah, let's do that.
Okay, great.
Put enough in to do that. Yeah. So we're all just taking, and knowing that we're all, as we drop in, we're dropping into ourselves, and we're also feeling our connection in this circle of creation that we're in right this moment with each other. Yeah. And I really invite you to bring your awareness to your breath in your belly. Just feeling that energy of the back of your body, wherever you're sitting. Let yourself drop into your body just a little more. Yeah. Here we are, letting our eyes be open and feeling ourselves present. Even if we're not in the visual, we can feel each other here across this earth body. Yeah. And each of us has magic that we're bringing here. Some of us are in the presentation mode, but all of us are gathered here because we have magic. We have the light. We have wisdom that's here on this planet right now. Yeah.
That was a beautiful moment of silence. Thank you, Gwendolyn. So I think, would you like to introduce yourself? We'll have all of our co-hosts, all of our light workers who are going to be here today. We'll have you each maybe have about a minute to just introduce who you are. So I'll just start.
You want to go first, Linda?
Okay, I kind of said something before, but I'll say it again. So I am a spiritual intuitive soul guide. I'm a sacred alchemist. I do transformational work with people, and I love gathering people together, and I got a really strong hit to gather together some really powerful, beautiful, amazing light workers. Some of them couldn't all be here at 2, but just know that we have set an intention to continue gathering as light workers and to offering these gatherings like this over the coming weeks. So keep checking your email, because we're going to keep doing this to really help whoever is willing to join us move forward in light. So for right now, I guess that's pretty much what I want to say, is that I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be offering this with other beautiful, amazing practitioners out there in the world, and really helping us to stay in an elevated state of light, an elevated state of hope, an elevated state of love, so that we really can keep ourselves in a vibration that holds light and anchors light into the planet, and that we not spin out into the different energies of panic and fear that really would not serve anyone. So we're hoping to keep us in these beautiful elevated states as much as possible. So that's what I have to say for the moment. So Gwendolyn, would you like to share who you are?
Yeah. So I'm Gwendolyn Terra, and it's interesting because the core of what I do is I consider myself a soul embodiment guide. How do we live our spiritualities in our bodies? And this invitation of light that we're bringing in is about grounding it in, like not bypassing it, but really, how do we allow the light, the expression of life and source to live inside of us? And so I work with many tools, especially to help with our roots and our connection with the earth and embodying what is it like to live that way. And then how do we bring that out into our creative expression? So one of the names I give myself is a mystic muse, because I like the idea of tuning into the divine, but also creatively expressing and living it. How do we live this? And we're in unprecedented times for all of us. And this is this invitation to create a world and lives that are in alignment, right? So it's not to bypass it, it's to allow it through. And I work with individuals, and I love working with the group field. We are a group field right now, because when we gather even just in 2, and in bigger groups, we have the capacity to create more ripples of change in the collective body that we are. And we're all feeling the collective body right now. So how we are authentically participating with it and really bringing consciousness into the subconscious terrain is really relevant right now. So we are opening to the light, but not as a bypass, as a breathing, living offering of it. And I'm here to support that today. And yes, I was getting it loud. I must talk to Linda. We must offer something. She was talking to Shirley because I was probably hearing them in the ethers. And I was like, I need to text Linda. And within 10, 15 minutes, there was an email from her. So this was wanting to happen. And if you're here and you made it with a 2 or 3 hour warning to get here, then you were part of that call for this to be here today. That's how we're creating together. And we're in this together. So I just want to acknowledge that. And yeah, and the light that we are, that's wanting to come into the world now and nourish our beings and our bodies. Yeah. So that feels like enough intro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gwendolyn.
You're welcome.
Cherie Mason, would you like to also introduce yourself?
Can you hear me? Okay, great. This is my first time on Zoom.
Woohoo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cherie Mason. I live in Sedona, Arizona, Australian born. I'm sure you can hear. My gift is aligning your energetic field or your energy body to your natural state of well-being, so to what is true. So what is the truth? Not always able to put into words. So I love working with the energy and listening to what the energy has to say rather than listening to stories, because that's what they are, stories, right? So my gift today actually is what I'd like to offer is you may see me move my hands around a little bit like Gwendolyn. Spirit uses me as a conduit to align the vibrations, to align the frequencies so that the energies start to run through that line of truth again. You know, the way I see it is when we're not in truth, let's say we have a spine or a central column of light and it can be off, you know, in different places. So I'm able to work with a vibrational frequency of that so that it comes back to its natural state of truth, of alignment, which is love and light. And everything starts to flow again. And then that starts to translate over into your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies. I also work with businesses and spaces, animals, anything, right? Everything is energy. So I'm grateful that I was called today. Thank you, Linda, for reaching out. And I am grateful for the opportunity and thankful that everyone has joined us today to be excited about this new time. I mean, for me, it's like about time. Yay! Let's shift gears and get out of this old rut. You know, yes, it served us, and I think many of us are really ready to shift gears and just start living from that place of alignment where everything can feel graceful, fun, loving, and joyful. So thank you again. Blessings to you all.
Thank you, Cherie. Let's see, Tina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, so happy to see everyone here. Thank you for coming. I'm an artist. I've been an artist most of my life. And I think part of why I'm here is to awaken the creativity in others. I've used collage as a tool to, it's a weaving of parts of ourselves that maybe we have difficulty accessing, and maybe you don't have words for yet, but visually and with your intuitive inner self, you connect to yourself and then create something that you can look at and work with. I also am a Kundalini yoga instructor and gong sound healer, and also see the importance of coming into our bodies and feeling more grounded to be able to stay centered during times like this. And so I'm very excited to offer a few tools today because it has been very helpful for me during a midlife time of deeper awakening for me. And so any kind of support for us to be who we truly are is very, very important to me as well. We are all wise beings, and every time we gather together, we really, really help support each other. So this is a great way of not isolating. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Tina. Would Hahja like to present and introduce herself?
Can y'all hear me? Cool. My assistant next to me is making quite a bit of noise right now, so he's having to say stuff too. I am Dr. Hahja Peterson. I'm here in Austin, Texas. I am a chiropractor, a nutritional counselor, meditation teacher, yoga instructor, brain balancer, just you name it when it comes to the human body. I do it and exude it. One of my gifts that I love to share is information about your human body. So it's not this, so it turns more into this gift that you understand rather than this ambiguous thing that you don't know what it's doing that could break down at any moment. So my job is to remind you that we are all here and divinely created. There's no junk DNA. We just need to tap into that and to understand what your body or symptoms are saying to you so that you can, it's always talking to you. So how can you live in alignment with your own body and then let that bleed out into all your relationships? So especially in times like this, what a lot of people are fearing is, in my field, is fearing their body not working. And the thing with all these things is they're only opportunistic. They're just waiting for that little bit of the door to open up so that they can come in. But when you stand in the truth in your light and how magnificent you are, they can't come through. So I'm very honored to be here. I too texted Linda this morning. I was like, hey, you want to come in and get adjusted? I could use a session, like let's work together. And within a couple hours, here I am. So thank you. We're all is perfect. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Hahja. Okay, Shirley, where are you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Shirley Norwood. I previously lived in Austin, Texas, which is how I got very connected with all these other people. The category.
Looks like there's some issues with Shirley. She's calling in from Portugal. So there, okay. I think she's trying to reconnect.
Is a lot of, yeah. So can you hear me, Linda? Yeah, okay, good. So my spiritual path is Course in Miracles, and the particularly relevant part of that right now is the Course says there are only two things, love and fear. And we're all quite aware of the fear floating around in the universe right now. And I think we're also very aware of the love. And that love is very powerful, way more powerful. I love what Hahja said about when we are in that space of light and love, we're safe. Nothing is going to come in. The tool that I want to share today is something called heart rhythm meditation. It's a very simple meditation that just has you focus on your heart and your breath and breathing into your heart, opening your heart, allowing the light, the universal love to come in to expand your heart. And then as you exhale, sending that love back out into the universe. So that's the tool I'll be sharing. And the one other thing I feel guided to say right now is something from Byron Katie, if probably a lot of you are familiar with her, but she has a wonderful saying, which is, when I argue with reality, I only lose 100% of the time. So when we find ourselves saying, it shouldn't be like that, or it should be like this, it's a losing argument. We're just wasting our breath. We're wasting our energy. So the reality is, whatever each of us says it is right now, wherever each of us finds ourselves, and we have that choice of love. We can choose love and connect into that, and connect through our hearts. And in our hearts, we are all connected anyway. There is no isolation, self or otherwise, when we have that connection.
Thank you, Shirley. That was beautiful. I know Byron Katie always has some wonderful statements that kind of put you back to center. So Gwendolyn, did you want to begin with your tool, or should we start with one of the meditative tools, such as the tool Shirley was talking about?
I think we'll start with one of the meditative tools. We can start with Shirley's, and then we'll do, Tina was going to offer one too, so I'm not sure.
Actually, Tina, you were going to be doing a breath. Yeah, why don't we start with Tina? Because I think we should start with the breath work first, and then move into the heart processes. And then I know Cherie's going to be working in the background. I'm also going to be working in the background. I will have some things to say as well. And I know Gwendolyn will as well. We're going to be moving some energy and really helping everything to shift, because most of us who are light workers here, we all feel into the field. So we can feel this, the field of who's here right now and what needs to move. So just know that whatever that is, it's getting taken care of. If there is something that you need to share with us in the chat, you just click on that little bubble with the 3 dots in it and just type it in and just say, this is what I'm struggling with right now. And you just make sure you just type it in, and we will see that, and we'll make sure we bring that into the processes that we're doing. Okay, so Tina, I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Well, in Kundalini Yoga, we begin with 3 times chanting, and you don't have to chant. You can just listen and allow the sound of it to come in. Certain chants are very helpful to ground you, and this one grounds the infinite you into the form that is you as a person, and connect to your inner heart teacher. So this is what it is. I don't know if you can read it. Is it able to be read clearly? Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. Dev as in D-A-V-E. Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. Yeah, Linda just posted it in the chat too if you need to see it. So just tune in, and what we're doing is bringing a sound vibration in. So if you can keep your mouth as closed as possible, you want to feel the energy in this part of your body, so it really brings it in. So wherever you're seated, if you'll sit straight in your chair, feet flat on the ground, spine straight as possible, chin in slightly, rubbing your hands together. Bring your hands in prayer pose, bringing your thumb knuckles into your heart. Inhaling, belly out. Exhale, belly in towards spine. Inhale again, belly out. And begin to chant. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om inhale. Gently retain the breath. Focus at the point above the eyebrows. Eyes closed. Relax your hands, relax your breath. We're going to begin continuing with the spine straight, chin in just slightly. You're going to take your right hand, right thumb, press against your right nostril. Don't worry, you can wash your hands after this. Right? Inhale through the left nostril. A full inhale. Take your index or pinky and close off the left nostril, exhaling out through the right nostril. Full exhale. So inhale deeply through the left. Exhale deeply through the right. And when you're ready, close your eyes and focus at the point just above where the eyebrows meet. About an inch into the skull. Go at your own pace. Go at your own level of breath. Listen to your body, but slow down your breathing. Allow yourself to go deeper into your body with every breath. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly in towards spine. Good. Just keep going. Inhaling. And if you can deepen the breath, if it's easy and comfortable for you to do so, do so. You can do this breath for increments of 3, 6, 11, 22, 31 minutes. We're going to do 3 today. This balances both sides of the brain. Helps calm the body. Inhaling through the left nostril allows for new perspectives. Inhaling through the right lets go of old computations, cautions of the brain, breaking automatic patterns. So if you're feeling any bit of stress or shock into your system, or you need some emotional balance, this is a great breath. Now inhale completely, hands down, inhale with both nostrils. Gently retain the breath, focus at the brow point. Exhale, relax. You can rest with your hands in your lap, right hand over left, palms facing up, thumbs touching. Or if you're led, just bring your hand to your heart area and just let's sit in silence for a minute or two. Notice any changes from when we began. And I included a link to this same meditation so you can do it daily if it feels good for you at this time. Thank you.
Tina, that was beautiful. I feel so calm and chill. I love it. So now we'd like to invite Shirley to share her beautiful tool, her heart meditation tool that really nicely flows from this breath meditation to help us stay in this very calm place and shift anywhere within us where we're still holding fear or anxiety or panic. This is helping us to really release this out of our body and move back into a place of center. So Shirley?
Yes, and if you hear running up and down the stairs, my kitties didn't do that alternate nostril breathing, so they're kind of having a riot right now. So what I want to invite you all into is a very similar thing, also meant to balance both hemispheres of the brain as we start. So this is called the whole brain position. And what it does is activate both hemispheres of your brain and have those synapses between the two hemispheres firing and talking to one another so that you have access both to your amazing intuition and your emotions and your feelings. And at the same time, you have access to that logical, linear, practical part of your brain. So to do this, you can cross your ankles across the midline of your body. Absolutely doesn't matter, right over left, left over right, whatever feels most comfortable right now. As we're doing the exercise, you can switch, it's totally fine. And you'll also cross your wrists. Same thing, left over right, right over left. And you can do what Linda just did if you're flexible and that's comfortable for you. And you can also just cross your wrists and rest them in your lap if that's easier. It's just having both your wrists and your ankles crossed across the midline of your body. The breathing that I would invite you to do during this exercise is in through your nose and out through your nose. And it will be very similar to the breathing that Tina was inviting us to do. And what you're going to do, though, is focus on your heartbeats. And if you can just be still and hear your heart beating, that's great. If not, how you'll do that is as you take your breath in from your belly up, lifting all the way up to your collarbone. And until you start feeling your heart, just count slowly to 6. Then when you're at that top breath, hold your breath for a count of 6. You will, at that point, most likely be able to feel your heart beating. And then exhale again very fully. So as you exhale, imagine your belly button is coming towards your spine. You're really expelling all that air. And when all the air is out, you'll find yourself very naturally taking another breath. As you're doing this, as you're breathing in, you imagine whatever coming into your heart that you want. So today, this is likely to be a feeling of peace, a feeling of safety, even a feeling of radiant health. And as you have your out breath, you let go of whatever you're ready to release. So that might be anxiety or worry, it might be fear, it might be any concerns that you have around your health, anything like that. So you're just focusing on your heart, breathing in what you want more of, breathing out what you're ready to let go of. We'll do that for a couple of minutes, and then we'll expand this of breathing in love and then radiating out love. But we want to start with ourselves, getting ourselves centered and calm. So just crossing wrists, crossing ankles, and beginning to breathe in. Just at the top of your breath, holding your breath, becoming aware of your heartbeat, and then exhaling, really letting all your breath out. And then you can begin to have your breath, you breathe your nose out through your nose, but for around 6 or comfortable for you, and breathing in what you want more of right now. As you're exhaling, breathing out whatever you're ready to release. Inhale. Exhale. Really feeling your now. How is your breathing? Absolutely to the brim, filling the area around wherever you are, around your home, around your apartment, condominium, wherever you are. Breathing the love in again. And that love, the divine coming through you, just expanding out into the city where you are. Filling yourself with love, expanding out in beyond the bounds of the city, into the state or the country. And begin to feel as you're breathing that unlimited, limitless love filling you and expanding out as far as you want it to go, as far as you feel comfortable with it going right now. So that could be through the country, it could be across the oceans, it could be to the continents, to the whole planet, just whatever feels good and right for you, just filling your heart up, feeling your heart expanding. And just imagine that limitless, infinite love flowing out of you, out of your heart, to all around you. and it's an unlimited supply. It's not something you generate, it's something that's coming through you, first filling you, and then going out. And I'll be silent for just a few moments while each of us does this in our own way. And this whole brain position and this breathing with your attention focused on your heart literally strengthens your physical heart, keeping it strong in this time, giving it your own loving attention, breathing in that limitless, infinite love, and then sending it out however far you want to, however far you feel comfortable. You can send it out to specific people or just in a general way. This is something we can do anytime when we have an anxiety about what's going on in the world. We can draw in that infinite, limitless love and then send a big wave of it out across the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shirley. That was very beautiful. I think we're all nicely zenned out right now. I would like to connect in with Cherie if there's anything that she wants to share that she's been receiving or clearing for the group. Cherie, are you ready to share with us?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay, great. Excuse me. So I would like to do another little exercise to align you with the energy of truth. So again, if you all would like to close your eyes, this is all inner work, people. And just taking a few nice deep breaths. Shirley has nicely set us up to be very present and to be with that energy of the heart, which is love and truth. And I'm going to give you a little technique that you can practice as much as you like to help you expand that vibration or that energy of truth into every area of your life. So I just want you to think of something that is bothering you, that is a challenge for you at the moment, that is either fearing, making you feel fear or lack, or anything that feels disempowering. Just want you to let that be there. Just noticing it without judgment, without criticism. And then I want you to just pop that to the side. And now I want you to bring into your mind a knowing, an absolute truth that is unshakable in you. Something that you know to be absolute truth. It may be that 2 + 2 is 4. It will never be anything else. It is always 4. Whatever it is in you that you know is an absolute truth, I want you to bring that energy up. And now start breathing into that vibration. Imagining that energy expanding and amplifying, feeling its strength. Feeling the sensation in your body, in your mind, in your emotional state. As you be one with that vibration, with that energy of truth. Just noticing how that energy permeates everything within you and around you. And now noticing that little belief, that disempowerment, that untruth that you put to the side earlier. And as you continue to expand and amplify that energy of truth, start to observe how that energy of truth starts to permeate into that untruth, the fear, the lack, the disempowerment, however you see it. Noticing the untruth, the disempowered belief or thoughts. Noticing how it cannot remain in the presence of truth, in the presence of love and light. Noticing what a graceful transition and process this is. Noticing it is without effort, and without force. Always having gratitude for how this untruth has served you. Known or unknown, it doesn't matter. Just saying in your mind, yes. In your heart, yes. To love, to truth. To this divine wisdom. To this infinite intelligence that takes care of everything. Our role is to simply allow. Feel how huge and expansive the energy around your heart is now. Knowing you are divinely placed here, now, in this moment, as you are guided through these processes, given these tools to support you to allow love, to allow your true essence. And as you take another deep breath in, setting the intention that this energy continues to expand and amplify.
Well, pizza's the easiest thing because you can touch everything.
Setting the intention that this energy of truth, of love, of light, of grace permeates every cell in your being. Every dimension, every time, every space, every reality. There is only love. There is only grace. Infinite possibilities. Noticing this energy continuing to expand, even without your focus or your attention. And so it is. Thank you for your presence, everyone.
Thank you, Cherie. Wow. We're sending some beautiful waves of calmness out into the world right now. So I just want to say thank you to all the beautiful people that are on this call, because it is through your divine heart and presence and light that we're amplifying all that we're doing today. So now I would like to invite Gwendolyn to share her wisdom around what's going on today. We're each going to share a little bit about the guidance we've been receiving at this time. So Gwendolyn?
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. I've been wanting to kind of take this movement to the next piece before I get into talking mode, because we're in such a potent place, right? We've just really dropped into our bodies and really opened up, and we touched, that grace and light that lives in us, and it's expanded, right? So I invite you to really put your hands on your body somewhere. Yeah, really touch your body, right? And as you do that, I really feel your hips and your pelvis, wherever you're sitting. And feel the earth, like feel how the gravity of earth is actually holding you. Yeah, you can touch your body. Let this energy we've just opened to in this bigger amplified field actually nourish us and kind of like hold your body, love it, right? We're here in these human bodies. We're going to be moving around inside of our houses at least. We might go out in the world and just really let ourselves feel in our human self that expanded, juicy energy with our eyes open, right? Yeah, with our eyes open. And we've expanded out. And now we're in these bodies, in this earth at this time. And the invitation is, how do we, allow what we've opened together and even all this collective energy that we've generated be here inside of us, right? How do we bring it into life at this point? We can bring it into our creations, into songs we sing, into the way we share with each other. Definitely feeling the blessing of all the hearts that are present right now with us, right? And the interweavings of that. Because we go out and then it's like, okay, here we are. How do we breathe that and live that? And how do we be that expanded aware self with our human self, which is going to have things come up, right? And how can we be that with ourselves and with each other when everyone else is living life at this moment, right? So there's this invitation of, we brought that, our core truth in with our, whatever we're carrying just now. And that's an ongoing thing that Cherie just brought. How can we bring that loving presence with the things that are showing up in our humanness, with the adjustments we have to make about whether or not we can go places, how we can relate with others, right? And really feeling in this moment just how incredibly connected we are, and we aren't touching, but we're really here in our bodies. And feeling that coherent field, as Linda said, this that we're doing here is creating a calm, right, that we can all tune into, that's for others as well. And in this space, there's an invitation for that creative energy to come in, right? We're actually at Equinox, which is when the sun goes in to Aries. And it's this birthing time. So we have this invitation to slow down in our whole world, and especially in our country, but to slow down, go within. But there's also this like birthing energy happening. So like being with both of those things at the same time, this creative energy, the new that we want to be and the new that we want to grow with each other is here now. So there's like the relaxing opening. So hopefully we'll dilate a little bit. And then there's the new life coming in that we're actually nourishing right now with ourselves and with each other. Like, how do we create from a tuned into ourselves and each other's space? So just letting that energy be here for a moment. Yeah. And as Shirley brought in and Cherie brought in, what are we wanting to breathe more of? And what are we wanting to release? And then just staying in the curiosity right now. What's here right now? Like, what in you is alive and wanting to come forth right now? And it has a lot of space to show up and be nourished at this time. Yeah. So staying with that question with your body, it's like asking your body, your being, what's wanting to birth through me right now? What's wanting to birth through me right now? For myself and for the world. They aren't separate, but acknowledging both is relevant, right? What's wanting to come through? Yeah, what's wanting to birth through me right now for myself and for the world. And if you're comfortable with the chatting, you can go over to your chat, and if you have some words of what's here, just letting it be spoken in this sacred space we've already created. But feeling that energy, and as we share, also I'm calling in the earth that's holding us fully and completely. We are in this earth body. She is here. We are little. The earth is holding us. Breathe that in. The earth is holding us right now. And the sun is also holding the earth in this dance around the sun. And we're at equinox, so we get this specific balancing dance with the sun and the earth body right now. And all of us are getting that dance. All of us are held in this earth body across this planet. Right? So feeling this, not only our own birthing, but what's birthing through our humanity right now. People are showing up in ways they've never shown up because the way we've done things has blocked us from being what we are. So we're getting this incredible opportunity to be what we are and to actually listen and create new things together, a new world, new ways of doing it. Aligned with ourselves, in our breath, in our heart, in our knowing, our truth, right? Yeah, family and compassion. Linda shared that. Are there any other words? You can chat. If there's anything else you want to bring into the world right now, this is a seeding moment. It's so sacred. The whole earth is in spring moment. Yeah, gentle grace. Yeah, ease. I'm calling in ease. Lightness and joy. Yeah. How do we want to live in this new time? Connected with each other. For me, connected. Yeah, Shakti and Kundalini energy moving through, giving energy. Yeah, and allowing as much as we can. And it's really important that if we're being something, we're also receiving it. It's a current, we're flowing. So what we're giving, we're also receiving, we're being it. We're the current of flow, both directions, right? So as we share with others, we're receiving. And as we receive, we share with others. We're in this one human collective body in this earth together. Trust, yeah, unconditional love and compassion. And I keep dancing with others in new ways and healing, right? Acceptance of all that is. And in that all that is, for me, inclusivity, that we actually live and breathe the interconnectedness of being part of life and this earth. Right? I talked earlier with the group that met, you know, we've had to be with our core wound, which is separation. So we've been isolated and pulled back, but this is so that we can heal and feel our connection, right? Being a pillar of light, radiating love. Yeah. Feeling all these energies I'm dropping in that we can all touch into, right? That we're all being. And feel your part right now in it. It's almost like feel the weaving web of connection that we are in this circle, and that those that are going to be listening to this circle later, and feeling this ripple inside of the myofascial connective tissue of humanity across this earth body, this exquisite moment of creation that we're in right now with the earth, with spring, and that being asked to come inside and drop in and listen can allow us to be conscious in how we do this, to meet this creative energy with love, to listen with love. And noticing as we do this, our energy touches everything else. And we can breathe in those that we can receive from others. And if we need to, we can be the conduit, the breathing in and transmitting into love. Yeah. So just taking one deep breath and really feeling our interconnectivity. And also feeling the energy that holds us beyond our bodies. Death is just a doorway, really. So feeling all those on the other side and all the spirit teachers and all the sacred places on the earth that walk with us. And feel all the guides on the other side, all the beings of light. And feeling all this energy being held in our bodies, right? We are this for ourselves and each other. And feeling how we can hold that compassionate heart space for ourselves as things show up and for each other as we navigate the unknown. And I realized earlier, I didn't speak it because someone else had spoken it in an earlier call, but my entire journey has been about embracing the unknown. I really think that's what all our journeys are about. But mine's been very consciously that, my adult path. And I feel so much trust and grace. Yes, heartfelt connection in this time. I feel that in our vulnerability and acknowledging what is challenging for us, what is hard for us with each other, we lean in and we can receive and be in this exchange and step out of the by yourself mode. It's funny that we're stepping by ourselves so that we can actually lean in more. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like we can lean in. We are here for and with each other in this creation. And I've never felt the awareness of that be so conscious until this time. It like blows, it touches on the deepest knowing I've carried when there's been so much story that hasn't felt that way from so many people. But the deeper knowing that our humanity and our hearts connect us. And that's where we create from. And so may we continue to be in that space, feeling that incredible light that holds us, that's here, feeling the incredible earth that holds us, and really letting ourselves be in it, be with it, and making choices from that place. We're more aware. All these steps we just did on this call are allowing us to be more and more conscious in our open-eyed ways of being. And how we do take action to move in the world. And there's going to be a lot of dancing. So I love to dance and move. So just feeling that energy. And I invite you to let your hands swirl a little bit. We've been, I'm using a lot of words, but really like let your body move. Let yourself just let this simmer and integrate, right? It's here. It's through us, in us, through us. And it's wonderful to sit in stillness, but it's also wonderful to feel our aliveness. Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to acknowledge the deep blessing of being here in this circle with each of you and all of the speakers here I've known in different ways. So it's a real gift for us all to be here together and see all your faces and names. And yeah, just acknowledging that.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. That was so beautiful. So I want to share a couple of interesting things that have been coming through. Some of you know me. I'm also a grace channel. And so I'm just going to share with you some of the movements that I've been sensing happening through the group and some of the messages I'm being guided to share with everyone today, knowing that we're going to send these beautiful vibrations of love and light out to the world as we gather in this way from heart. So the messages that I have been receiving lately have a lot to do with exactly the theme that has kind of emerged on this call. It's that theme of love, unconditional love, compassion, moving into a place of truth that has been a big one. The message I keep hearing is, if we stay in truth, if we stay in truth, if we stay in the truth, and we step away from the appearances that seem negative, that seem dark, if we step away from that and we look at the deeper truth underneath all that's happening right now, what we will see is, oh my gosh, this is a time of divine awakening on the planet for all souls. It truly is a very blessed time, even though on the surface it may not look that way. Even though on the surface we may perceive and see things in a way that maybe doesn't look that way. So the message I'm hearing right now is that you may notice resistance. Resistance to the truth, resistance to being in a place that is grounded, resistance to whatever. You can just, feel in your body what you seem to be resisting right now. Maybe resisting how the systems out there are handling things. So just be in honest awareness of the resistances that are coming up. So all of the practitioners that are on this call, and some that couldn't be on the call, we had a gathering an hour before this to really align the energy and expand out. And it was really interesting, the type of resistances that were coming up. So I'm just wanting to speak that so that you each honor how you may be resisting what's showing up at this time, and not making it wrong, not judging it, not being mad at yourself or angry at other people, because everyone is going to have a unique and different reaction or response to what's happening based on the core wounds that we're holding. So right now, a lot of people's core wounds are coming up. So what do I mean by core wounds? These are those deep wounds that happen to us at very early ages in our life, sometimes before birth, and sometimes they're core wounds that we've been holding for generations. And we are actually being given a chance at this time to begin to heal and release those core wounds, not just for ourselves. We're being asked to release these core wounds for the generations that came before us, for our families, and for the collective humanity. All of the core wounds that we personally hold are actually shared with every human on the planet. So each of us is called to begin to look at and witness and feel and release our particular core wounds from our early life or from our family system. We're literally releasing it and transmuting it for the whole collective. So know that sometimes there's interesting ways that nature chooses to awaken us so that we can dive deeper. It's so interesting right now that literally the whole world is being asked to pause, to rest, to be quiet, to be still. I mean, this is truly an unprecedented time in world history. So this is a time for us to truly take pause. I really sense in the meditations that I have had, this calling by divine infinite source that created everything in all the universes. That infinite light is calling every soul, each one of its creations, all creatures, to for a moment pause, be still, and know the truth. Wake up to who you truly are. You're not just this physical thing in a human body walking around on this material 3D plane. Yes, that's a part of our existence, but it's a very tiny part of the more expansive existence of who we truly are. So the invitation is to call you to look at what's going on from a place of spiritual eyes, not a place of limited human eyes. but a place of spiritualized, seeing the greater blessings. We're already seeing those. People are sharing some beautiful things in social media about things that are changing on the planet and with others. I mean, people are literally, their personalities are changing in actually really interesting, sometimes very positive ways. There's a lot happening that's helping people look at how they're living their lives right now. And is the life that they're living, is it healthy? Is a life that they're living, is it in some way in service to the whole? Is a life that you are living really assisting in some way this earth, this planet? And if you're realizing that maybe there's some things you could tweak, not from a place of judgment, of course, but from a place of love, going, is there a more loving way I can live in this world that really serves both me, my family, and those I touch and those I come in contact with? Is there a way that I can choose to live differently so that the expression of the way that I live really is a loving service to all? Now, does that mean you need to go out like Mother Teresa and serve the sick and the ill? No. Maybe for you, it's just a simple little tweak that helps you feel more peaceful and purposeful in the world, that actually brings peace to your family. Maybe it's just some simple little habit that you're realizing, maybe I need to look at that habit. It doesn't really serve me or others. Maybe I can make a choice to let that particular habit go. And sometimes for some of us, it may be that we need to dive really deep in because we're still holding lots of resentment and anger towards our past, towards family members, towards experiences of our past. And we really need to dive deep in and call forth the higher source to help us to forgive so that we can be free. When I work with my clients, I let them know forgiveness isn't about letting another person off the hook, really. Forgiveness is about your own soul freedom. Forgiveness is one of the biggest lessons we as human souls have to learn before we leave the planet, is to forgive everyone and everything. It's a big calling, but it's one that we're invited to right now. So this time of pause, this time of silence, this time of rest, this time of really looking at how we're taking care of ourselves physically, this is a time for us to also dive more deeply into our spiritual practices. And I invite you, if you do not have a type of spiritual practice, to begin exploring all the possibilities. There's breath work, there's yoga, there's just sitting quietly in nature, there's nature walks. Oh my gosh, spiritual expression is infinite. And right now we're all being called to connect to that higher source light that created us and really begin practicing on a daily basis some type of practice that goes beyond us, that's more expansive than just our normal human life. And that could just be closing your eyes for 1 minute, just 1 minute, and just saying, I am here. I am here. I am here. And just breathing that presence in. That can calm anything when you just move into presence and make the statement, I am here. It brings you here now, and it keeps you from spinning out. Many of us that are on this call are empaths in some way. We feel. In fact, the truth is, I believe all of us on the planet are empathic. We all feel what the whole collective is feeling. And so it's important that you realize that some of what you are feeling, in fact, probably a lot of what you may be feeling right now, is actually the collective's. It's not individually yours. So a tool I would like to share with you right now is a way for you to feel what is and acknowledge, but don't take ownership of it. Like it's mine, this is mine. That's not going to serve you. Instead, whatever you're feeling, acknowledge it, notice where it is in the body, allow it to be without fighting it or resisting it. And I usually ask, so how much of this that I'm feeling, how much of this belongs to me right now? And so I usually will have like just a number pop up in my head. 5% of this belongs to me. That means that the other 95%, I'm feeling it from the collective. And it helps me to kind of center myself so I don't start telling myself stories about what I'm feeling, because that will just spin me out more and move me into a lower vibration that really doesn't serve. So instead, I tune in. What am I feeling? Acknowledge it. Don't make it wrong. Don't run from it. Ask how much of it belongs to actually me. And the part that belongs to the collective, what I usually do is I bless it with light and I just send it out. And I send it back as light so that I don't have to carry it. So a lot of times as empaths, we will feel what others refuse to feel. That's what an empath does. They actually feel what others are refusing to feel. So if you're at home and you're with family members and you are feeling lots of stuff, it may be that you're feeling a lot for family members that don't want to feel it right now. And that's just an awareness to have. Everyone is where they are and there is no judgment. It's just for you to take care of yourself, especially those of you who are very sensitive. Take care of yourself. Realize that the majority of it is probably not yours. You are helping to carry it for the collective. So bless it with light and send it back as light so that then you deal with just the part that's yours. So if 5% of it is yours, dive into that and say, okay, I'm feeling lots of fear right now. 5% of this fear is mine. What's this about for me? So you can just do that right now. A lot of the fear we may be feeling is not ours. We're feeling it from the collective, but there is a small part that probably is yours. So you just close your eyes and dive in and just ask, what's this fear associated with? What's the message this fear is trying to share with me? And listen. You can even imagine fear as a person standing in front of you and have a conversation with that fear and see what it has to say. It's amazing the wisdom sometimes when you speak to the emotion, what it has to share with you. So these are very simple yet profound truths that keep you clear, that keep you aligned with truth, knowing that we are all swimming in a collective ocean right now, and that the person holding the highest frequency is the one who affects those around them. So make a choice. Decide, I want to hold the highest frequency I can possibly hold of love and light and peace and groundedness and acceptance of what is right now. I'm choosing that. I'm actually choosing that. Just the choice alone expands you and raises your vibration, your frequency, your heart light. So it's your choice. And as you do that, you're actually sending those waves out into the collective, and many people are being blessed. We're really wanting to create a tipping point right now, a tipping point of more people holding love than fear. So that as more people in the world hold love, it's going to shift everything. And guess what? The sacred vibration of love, when you're in that vibration, this thing called virus, illness, actually dissolves. It energetically disappears. So if we can create a tipping point right now where we're holding more love and light and compassion, we create a tipping point on the entire planet so that what is right now, what's showing up, will begin to dissolve back into light. Because in the face of truth, that which is not true dissolves. So we have to hold that higher truth of divine love and connection so that we can allow what is ready to dissolve. And believe me, there's things on this planet that need to dissolve more so than the virus. So when we hold this higher state of love, we're dissolving a lot more than just a virus. So just know that we're being called right now. There's a reason why you're here on this call. This is not random. You're holding a very specific love vibration that the planet needs. So I invite you to continue to do your practices that will assist you to stay in these beautiful higher states.
And I
Gwendolyn?
just want to acknowledge, on that, it's that this is this truth that we're not alone. So there's ripples of this happening. I've had this vision of this for 20 years for people who know me and the story I wrote. But the prayers, people all across, so someone just mentioned that there was meditations on NBC, on the Today Show. And there's meditations, there's prayers. The Pope is asking everyone across the planet to pray at a certain time each day, whatever their beliefs, right? It's like the collective prayers and visioning with the gentle awareness of our bodies, not in resistance to the bodies, but with an awareness that there's also something bigger that we're part of. It's an opportunity to really not feel alone in it too, that we can connect into these ripples. It's like the water that she was saying. It's like there's ripples and there's others doing it. We touch into that and we actually help expand it. So it's this, like, we doing it on our own and together right now creates bigger ripples with each other, and it is shifting and energetic. And the calming down has been needed because we haven't been listening to the earth. We haven't been listening to what's true in our behavior and in our actions. We've been trying to ignore things that underneath we know are out of integrity in the way we do our lives, that are out of alignment. And we're having to see those things with compassion for us individually, each other. And then we have this virus that shows up in response to specific things that are happening right now. So it's teaching us, it's a response to a way that we've been. And the earth is really clear about that. Like this, there's something shifting because we're pausing and we're listening, and we're not by ourselves in this. The whole earth is in this transformation right now. So I just want to say, like, there's like this exquisite togetherness as we do this, right? As each of us individually does it, and as we do it together, we're shifting this ripple in a grounded way. We're grounding in the love and the light. We're allowing it to embody into our bodies, into the world, right? So there's something exquisite happening here. And like Linda said, we are this tipping point. We're the energy of staying in the love, staying in the light, and allowing it to keep growing. And with the earth, we're with the earth. It can be kind of scary when there's body stuff. We do a disconnect from the earth. And we're in the earth. We're with the earth. We're bringing it into this. So I just want to say that because there's something so precious about that. It's different than anything we've ever experienced. And from what I understand from other star systems, it's different than what they've experienced. We're doing something that's a unique aspect of creation right now. So I just feel such gratitude that we're all here in this moment, that everyone in this circle right now that's here, that's listening, and that's going to listen. Like, this is the time that we've all been feeling, where we actually lean into love.
So what I'm going to ask is that each of the light workers who were here, if you want to put in the chat any way that anyone would want to contact you. That way, if anybody has a particular affinity to you and wants to contact you, because I know that each of the light workers are doing their own things along with the things that we're going to be doing here together. So I want y'all to share that in the chat so that if people want that information. And of course, if you receive this email from a friend and you jumped on, or however you found it, but you still want to keep getting those invites and maybe you're not on that particular e-list, just email me and I'll make sure that you get on that list so that you receive the announcements when we do these. We've been talking as a group of light workers that we're going to continue to hopefully offer this. Maybe we're feeling once a week for a while. So we'll see what the energy says and how that wants to happen. We are going to record these. So this is being recorded and it will be sent out as a replay link on YouTube. So everybody who's on the list, on each of our lists, will receive that link. So you can go back and listen to the replay if you missed part of it, or if you want to send that link off to someone who you believe might really benefit from this experience today. We want to keep giving humanity experiences of peace and love and compassion and deep healing. And just know that the energy that we created today on this call is powerfully healing. So just know that you are going to receive some deep shifts from this. So if you're feeling a bit tired, etc., I tell people definitely sleep, drink lots of water, minerals, definitely Himalayan sea salt or gray sea salt is what I always tell my clients. You know, if you can, some time in nature or just being barefoot in your backyard, something that gives you a touch of nature would be very important right now as well. And extra sleep, all those things that you all know are important to taking care of yourself. So does any other of the light workers, do y'all have anything you want to share in closing? And then of course, if there's anything that any of the participants would like to share and type into the chat, or they have a question specifically, you can type that into the chat, but I'll have the light workers, anyone else who wants to share any closing thoughts.
I just want to say that the connection is also the gift of these times, that we're in connections. And today's spring. we've come to spring, and we have the planet Mars astrologically going through and waking up all that stuff that happened in January that started shaking us through the bones. Really, right after Christmas Day, there was an eclipse and there's these alignments. So now Mars, the like action planet's coming in and kind of meeting all these energies. It's following Venus. Venus did it, and then Mars. So just an acknowledgement that there is energy here. Like there's this pause, but there's also that creative energy. And that spring, like it's spring. Mother Nature's blessing us right now. If we're on this half of the planet and it's fall, they're shifting too on the other half. So just really enjoying this exquisite gift of life that's present. I just feel like that's part of the gift of this time. So yeah, and just feeling grateful to each of you for being here, like I said, and to Linda and to all of us facilitators. And definitely get in touch with all of us so that we can keep having gatherings and sharing our magic.
And Gwendolyn, someone asked about Rahu. Since you are our astrologer of the group, do you have anything to share about
Rahu? So I'm not that familiar with Vedic astrology, but what's happening right now that's related to the astrology is that all the planets are in one half of the sky for just a couple of days because the moon moves so quickly. So it means that all of the planets are in one half of the sky, which Rahu and Raja, whatever, they're the two names of the nodes. It's the north and south node. When that happens, that means that this is the time to see all the karmic cleanup. This is like a major, you must look at your stuff time. If you are part of the oil and plastic of the world, then you are part of the oil and plastic of the world. If you're part of what's been damaging our water supplies, then we're going to see it. We're going to see our part in the creations that are here. And we can bring the awareness and the love and the healing into that as we see it, as we are willing to see how we've participated. But in that system, there's the karma. I don't know it as well, but I know that there's like times when you really have to look at your karma and clean up your stuff. And then we're in a collective, we really have to look at our stuff. And if we can meet it with some love and compassion, then we can address the messes we've created and create in new ways. So, but I don't know as much about Vedic. I do know that that's the time period that we're in. We're in a collective one. And we will have, and when people have it in their personal astrology, it's a lot of looking at past lives and stuff. And so we as a culture in a collective one, because of where everything is in the sky. And right now, the reason I was talking about the energy, Mars and Jupiter are conjunct. So not only is it the equinox, it's the action planet is conjunct the expansion planet in Capricorn, right near Pluto, where we already had the Saturn Pluto, like where we have to look at the deepest, darkest stuff, and we have to look at our relationship with power. And it's pretty, I just want to say on the astrology level, it's just kind of a little bit nonstop. So that's why this call and practices where we can tune in, because we're going to keep, like, the birth is happening, right? The pause is happening and the birth is happening. Yeah, and the ancestral stuff gets activated with the birth because it is growing the line. So we have to bring the awareness in to all that. And I just want to mention that there's a way, if you want to save the chat, if you go to where the chat is, because all of us are, yeah, that's what Patrick said, they're nodes of the moon. If you want to save the chat, you can go over to where it says more on the bottom right and do save chat, and it'll do a save file on your computer, because the chat just disappears when we're gone. So if you want to have contact information for any of us and all of us, yeah, and I also offer individual sessions and group work. We all do different ones. So there's a circle of magic. And we were transmitting at a huge level. So if you did kind of tune out, Linda was just talking about that, then that's okay, because the level of shift that's happening is on as many levels. So, yeah.
So I was going to check in with Cherie and Shirley and Tina to see if there's any last closing words you might have. And of course, if there's any other questions from the participants, just type it into the chat.
I just want to, I love the blessing that is part of Kundalini Yoga, because it just really speaks to the time. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. May you trust that inner wisdom that is you. May you let it radiate and grow. Thank you so much for being present in unknown waters with others.
Thank you, Tina. Cherie or Shirley?
Yeah, thanks, Linda. Everyone can hear me? Can you hear me? Great. Okay, yeah. So thank you, everyone, for being on the call. What an incredible transmission of energy. And I think Chotzi, is that how I pronounce your name? You said you fell asleep. No problem at all. It is quite normal. I have had people fall deeply asleep, actually, while I've been giving sessions to them, both in person and remotely. And I myself felt a little weary at times too, but just know there's a lot of energy shifting through our physical bodies. So everybody, please rest, drink water, and absolute self-care is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in your priority, and then you will be taken care of. And please reach out, anyone, if you're needing support to stay in an empowered state. That is my gift, and I love supporting people to know that they can be okay. It's a lot about choice. So much love and blessings to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Cherie. Shirley, would you like to share?
I just want to say thank you all so very much for being here. And just to remind you of something all of you know, which is we are always connected, always. And anytime you might forget that or feel isolated or feel alone, doing that breath, just focusing on your heart and breathing into your heart and holding any or all of us in your presence, in your awareness, will connect you right back into this beautiful, beautiful, strong field that we've created.
Beautiful, Shirley. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who was here today and to all that will see this later. So we're going to send the replay out. And so hopefully you will receive the link to this if you were on this call through whichever practitioner sent you the information. You can also go on to our Facebook site. Some of us are going to be posting it. Linda Galvan on my Facebook site, I'll be posting the link as well. And so any last questions? I noticed that some people who are on the iPad don't have the ability to save the chat. So the only thing I can think of is just kind of with your own cursor, just cutting and pasting out the whole chat into a separate, I don't know what software, and then you'll have it. So
maybe we can, in the next email out for the next call, just put all of our contact information.
That'll be good.
Of the facilitators.
Yes.
Like if they can't actually get it right now, then we could do that.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I just want to close with an invocation for the collective of humanity's consciousness. So I'm going to close with this. It was actually put out by Patricia Cota-Robles from the eraofpeace.org. So that's where it comes from. And it's a really powerful invocation of consciousness. So I will share this and then we will close for today. With so much love and light to all of you. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. As one consciousness of pure divine love, I invoke our Father, Mother, God, and the legion throughout infinity. Beloved ones, come forth now. I am one with all of these magnificent forces of light. Through my sincere heart call, they have joyously come to help humanity's I am presence, empower and sustain the light work of every man, woman, and child on the earth 1,000-fold. Beloved legions of light, I ask that you gather up every electron of precious life energy being expended by humanity during this sacred and holy time. Purify the energy with the power and might of 1,000 suns, using the new 5-dimensional solar frequencies of the violet flame of God's infinite perfection. Weave this purified energy into the collective cup of humanity's consciousness, so that every electron of precious life energy released by the sons and daughters of God at this time will be used to exponentially expand the light of God on earth and bring the purging process we are now experiencing to a gentle and God victorious conclusion. And so it is, beloved, I am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sealing you all with so much light. Thank you to all the beautiful light workers that were here. Know that each time that we offer, we're going to have a different combination of light workers that can make it, because everybody has different schedules. So be looking for something like this again next week. Maybe we'll keep it on a Friday to keep it consistent. We'll see. Gwendolyn, did you have any last closing words too?
Just a releasing, like there's a way of, the bowing, but there's a way of bowing that we open our palms and just breathe in what's ours and breathe out what belongs to others. So really just kind of feeling that collective energy generate, and then also claiming our own space, doing that again, breathing in and breathing out. And one more time, breathing in Really drawing what's yours in, what's fresh in here, and breathing out. And then I just invite you to say to yourself, I am in your name. I am Gwendolyn. Yay. And just feeling ourselves here in our bodies, resting, dancing, whatever is here. Thank you so much, Linda.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the beautiful souls. Mwah. Please share this link as soon as I get it up. Please go ahead and share it with anybody you feel who will be blessed by it. We want it to really get it out there so that as many people as possible who are really needing the peace and light and transmissions that are held in this gift be given to as many people as right now really need it. So thank you all. Thank you for your light. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your courage to be on the planet at this time. What powerful souls we all are. Woohoo! Much love, everybody. Mwah! Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.